Hello, I'm Tracy. I'm a professional creative, a mom, a singer, and an Elvis fan. I started out thinking music would be my main profession while doodling music symbols, drawing pictures of my dogs, and sketches of symbols that could have been a logo for my past relationships, a heart with a lightning bolt. I even went to college for music, and I was the lead singer for a few different bands. While in a band, we needed some flyers for one of our gigs, so I created one using PowerPoint. Eventually, I was asked to do a few for an entertainment agency, and that led me to thinking more about graphic design as a career. Finally, I enrolled at Full Sail University, and my only regret is not starting it sooner. This first project was to create a poster for a local event. It just so happened that I did have to create a poster for a friend who happens to be an Elvis tribute artist. He was performing a Christmas show locally. As you can see, I use the traditional red and green colors for Christmas and the holly berries as accents. I used a blue background and blue silhouette of Elvis to represent one of Elvis's songs, Blue Christmas. The event was to be fun and festive, so I chose a font that conveyed that message. And since Elvis is known as the king of rock and roll, I tilted the main type at an angle to represent a rocking motion. The address and phone number are displayed at the bottom center and between the venue logo and the logos for the entertainment agencies producing the event. And FYI, I created the logo for Dalton Productions too. In the second project, I was required to choose a national park and create a brochure for them using only their website. I chose the Erie Canal because I visited there as a kid once when we lived in upstate New York. I chose a 4-section folding brochure once I realized how much information I wanted to include, and being that it was once used for shipping products across the state, I included a map that shows where it stretches, and there are several locations that one can see the canal from. A little of the history and local information of things to do and see with photos were included from the website, and the photos were arranged as if they were printed pictures. I used a festival photo of the canal with a low opacity setting so that it blends into the background behind the type. The main color of the brochure was taken from the main color of the website at the time, and then once I determined the cover photo of one of the boats on the canal, with the sign being in the front, I used the colors of the trail sign to accent the brochure in its type and other contrasting ways. This project started out as just a magazine cover. It is based on my own personal blog site for Pitbull topics. I was not happy with the cover I first created, so choosing a feature article gave the project more of a direction in the feel and the style that I wanted. The nameplate typography is a bit rough, pardon the pun, but I wanted it to be aggressive like the stereotypical ideas about the breed. The colors are red and white so that you stop and take notice. As you can see, it is about a McDonald's radio ad, so relating photos were researched before choosing the right ones to convey the tone of the article, and the taglines were chosen to highlight the main information. I'm still experimenting with a layout design so that it gets more attention when someone flips through the pages. Here is a rough animatic for a Mountain Dew Extreme TV commercial. The dialogue to be used in the commercial was provided, but the scenes needed to be presented visually to show an idea on what the actual commercial might look like. I sketched out all the scenes, and I narrated the dialogue and chose royalty-free music to place in the background. In class, it was not necessary to digitally colorize my sketches as long as I was able to produce my concept, but it has been suggested that I do so in order to push this project further and create a more polished portfolio piece.
Looking for the taste of adventure? I'm going to jump out of this plane and try the new Mountain Dew Extreme. Happy! Mountain Dew Extreme! Not your run-of-the-mill thrill!
In this fifth project, Seminole Wind, The song by John Anderson was the inspiration and the name for a reality TV show. My concept was to have a show about the Seminole Indians that still live in the Big Cypress Reservation in South Florida. I created a logo for the name and started it with a 5-second logo animation. Then the project required me to create a 15-second TV promo. I wanted to get potential viewers interested in the Seminoles' history and engage their curiosity about their lives today as I am. I researched their history and culture and sketched up thumbnails of all relatable ideas. Then I developed an idea of how to present the scenes into a motion graphic TV promo. This was my result. However, I didn't feel the 15 seconds was long enough to get across the tone, and I noticed some motion errors in my presentation of the show times. So I'm planning to restructure the entire promo. The start and the end will be about the same, but I will try to include more photos from the past to modern day life and clean up my design so that the project is overall consistent. This last project was based on an idea for a product to help office workers who spend a majority of their time sitting. Long-term sitting is detrimental to our health. It's bad for blood flow, muscles, and internal organs, including the brain, which results in memory issues and shortening of your lifespan. My idea is to market to people 55 and older, retired seniors who tend to spend too much time sitting and have no one to remind them of important appointments or to point out that they've spent too much time sitting. Using Google Glass technology will give them a virtual exercise mentor. Introducing Mentex. It's a cross between the words mental, mentor, and exercise. I do feel the animated logo needs improvement, so I will be making some changes so that it fits in more with the brand. I used orange and gray colors for activity and wisdom. The logo is simple to show that Mentex is easy to use, and the arrow on the X represents the tagline, "Get up and get moving." The illustrated older man, Einstein, is friendly and fun. He is not part of the logo, but he does relate to the branding when used in magazine ads, packaging, or web banners. The packaging may need some more tweaking so that it's more professional and more interesting. Lastly, this is my personal identity. Displayed are business cards, my resume, and stationery. Most of my family is from upstate New York, and I was one of the few actually born here in Florida. I love the ocean, and my family always said I was a fish because I never wanted to get out of the water. So the mermaid symbol makes sense as to who I am. I use the tail as an initial T, and the mermaid leans on the M initial. It can be viewed in black and white, but I chose a gradient of blue and green that not only represent the ocean colors, but represent me, relaxed, friendly, and professional. In conclusion, all my projects are not just cool designs and pretty colors. They are solutions to a need to convey a message clearly and quickly. I'm Tracy Masters. Thank you for watching.